Ready? The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the rights of the public have advance notice of and to attend meetings of public bodies in which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Belvidere Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the Star Ledger and Express Times and submitted to Town Clerk, Town of Belvidere, January 15th, 2018. Please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Blum?
Here.
Mrs. Bokina? Here. Dr. Zepis?
Here.
Mr. LeVar?
Here.
Mr. Lucas?
Here.
Mr. Matlock?
Here.
Mr. McInerney?
Here.
Mr. Mitchell?
Here.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mrs. Steffen? Here. Mrs. Williams? Here.
We're just going to begin tonight, go a little bit off normal agenda. Dr. William Austin is here from Warren County Community College. He had asked just for a couple minutes to talk about some of the great things that are going on with the community college. We obviously have a good relationship with them, as we have quite a few dual enrollment courses this year, and we've maintained those over the last few years. So, Dr. Austin, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you very much, and thank you for having us tonight. I'd like to introduce two of our trustees that have come out tonight. Thank you. Mrs. Nancy Brown, who is a Belvidere resident, and Dr. Phil Infante, who is the chair of our board. And I'm happy to also say he is the chair of all trustees for community colleges in the state of New Jersey. So he's the board chair for our state association. We just wanted to go over a couple of things and tell you about a couple of things that are going on at Warren County Community College. One of the major thing that happened this year is we were one of the about half of the community colleges who were awarded the Community College Opportunity Grant by the state of New Jersey. So that means that anyone in Warren County who graduates this coming year or has graduated or is 40 years old, 30 years old, 50 years old, if they come from a household where the income is under $45,000 a year and they take 6 credits, they do not pay tuition and fees at our community college. We are the only one in the northwest part of New Jersey who was awarded this grant. So it's part of an initiative to make community college free in the state, and we're one of the ones that came through. I wanted to go over a couple other things that we're doing at the college people may or may not be aware of. One of them is that about in the year 2014, we began the process of reducing remedial education requirements at the college, and I'm happy to say this past fall we only had 14 students that needed remedial education, which is a drastic change from about 700 that were required to take these classes in 2011. So we mainstream everyone and put extra support services in place, and we've seen a drastic increase in our graduation rates as well. So bringing people directly into college courses has a positive impact on their education. Another thing that we've done, and as the superintendent spoke to, is we have a very robust dual enrollment program. We have hundreds of students that have come through Belvidere High School to the college. We credential basically what's going on in high school and award college credit for that work. We ask that everyone, especially if there's parents in here or teachers, please tell people it's 100% free. It is paid for by the freeholders through a special subsidy they gave us some years back. We don't even charge people for the transcript, but I can tell you people don't come and get the transcript and then they go to college, and an average student probably saves anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 a year if they just come and get everything. And when I say free, I mean there's no fee. We don't charge anything for any of it. So it's a great program. If every one of the students, of the 1,900 students in Warren County came to our college and brought those credits with them, they would have about $1.8 million a year in value. If every one of those students, to use just an example of school you would be familiar with, if everyone went to Centenary, the value of those credits is $20 million. So I often get emails from parents saying they save $10, $20, $40, $60,000 by taking those credits. And again, 100% free. I'm happy to say we have the highest retention rates and graduation rates for any community college in the state of New Jersey. We attribute that to a number of things, not the least of which is the remedial education, diminishing requirements there. We also, in New Jersey, passed a law this past year that said within a year, all community colleges had to have 60 credit degrees, and all four-year schools had to have 120 credit degrees. Well, we did that back in 2016. So again, what we try to do is get more students in and more students out effectively as quickly as we can. Our newest initiative, which goes into effect this coming spring, because we have the only agreement with Cengage Publishing, and for those of us who are a little older, we may have had a book from Houghton Mifflin. You might have remembered that. That's the same company. They changed names. Cengage is the largest academic publisher in the world. Every student will pay $140 for all their books, not per book, but it's $140 a year, and they get every textbook, every requirement. All the digital material comes with it. It's a subscription service. It's a lot like Netflix. So what you do is we have Chromebooks that go to students, and they just go on and they get all their learning materials that way for $140. If you want a paper copy book as part of our deal, that's $7.99 for each book. So you can do your books that way with Cengage. And again, basically because it's like a Netflix subscription, the students will probably only read the books we asked them to, but instantly they have access to 22,000 books in the catalog, and they can look at them all. So everyone basically gets a home library as part of that program. The last thing I'll say is, and then I'll let our trustees say whatever they'd like, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. We'll be opening our new facility and dedicating it a week from tonight. So we think we have a lot of great things to offer the residents. We're happy for the time. We appreciate the time. We're happy to offer as many services as we can to the residents. And we're not here to ask for anything from you. We just wanted to tell you what we were up to and answer any questions you might have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for letting us come talk to you for a few minutes. I'm Phil Infanti, Chair of the Board. Just a couple of things. You know, higher ed is changing today. The way we deal with education and the way we deal with college is changing. And I'm happy to say that Warren County Community College is out front when it comes to the different things that we're dealing with, as you can see, with $140 a year for all the textbooks that normally would cost $1,000. We are willing to take those risks in order to provide the best service possible to the students of Warren County Community College. And that's important. Dr. Austin and his staff instills in everyone that every person that comes to WCCC is there for a reason. They have a goal. They have a reason that they're there, and it's up to the staff to make sure that every student that enters that building succeeds in whatever goal they have. Let me just tell you about the impact of community colleges in the state. There's 19 community colleges. There's over 350,000 students in the state of New Jersey going to a community college. 50% of all students who get a bachelor's degree in New Jersey have credits from a community college. That shows the impact that we have in the state and in the county. And we're willing to do whatever is needed to make the students successful and to make the county successful. Thank you very much. One other thing real quick, and you know, I said things are changing. Dr. Austin just started a program a little while ago, and you talk about changing technology. We are the only ones in the state that developed a degree in drone technology. You know, drones are the new computers of the future. They're going to be used in every type of profession that there is. Because we're in Warren County, we have the airspace, so we actually have a drone port at Warren County Community College. We are training individuals to get there, because in order to fly a drone other than recreationally, you need an FAA pilot license. So we are training. I guess my time is up. No music usually. And I know I'm done. But anyway, you get a pilot's license, you can repair drones, you can fly drones, and we're the only ones in the state that have actually a degree, a certificate in degree program.
That's cool.
Ms. Brown?
Thanks, Phil.
It's probably better.
Can everybody hear me? Yes. Good, all right. One of the things that I wanted to hit on that Dr. Austin and Dr. Fonte did not, about 2 years ago, we became aware that our students, some of our students were having to make a choice between books and food. And that should not be. So we developed, before I came on the board, I'm the newest on the board, but a program was developed by one of the other trustees to combat food insecurity. And so members of the board of trustees have put into this, it's called the Eagle Safety Net. And board members are asked to put money into this. And if we become aware that a student has food insecurities, they get a ShopRite gift card. No questions asked. We're working on gas cards, because that's another, we have a lot of students from Phillipsburg, and that's a big cost for them. I cannot stress enough the dual enrollment program. I know the superintendent is aware of it. Maybe some of the board members are aware of it. It is such a savings. I happen to have 3 grandchildren that are in this system, and the oldest is a sophomore, and I'm already saying, Ben, you need to get in this program and get some college credits. It is such a savings. And I can't tell you what an honor it is to be a board member. As I said, I am the newest board member. I've only been there since March or April. But so far, it's been a great thing. Does anybody have any questions?
Questions from the board? Actually, I have one. So, we have talked a lot at the board level about the dual enrollment program, and it's something we certainly encourage as a district. Is there any, from your perspective, is there anything else that you feel we should be doing to, further, I guess, to expand upon the program and the offerings?
We're always happy to look at classes, and as much as we can align the curriculums with us, with you, that's a fantastic thing. We know not everyone who goes through the dual enrollment program will come to us, so remember, they may go to another college where they have remedial education, so that's another program where we've asked people to look at. Even though you won't technically get college credit for it, if we credential it here, when they go to the school they're going to, they won't have to take one of the placement tests, like the College Board AccuPlacer test. And I sit on the National Board for Community Colleges, and I sit on what's known as the Pathways Initiative. And we literally tell people, as part of that, don't give that test to anyone. It is the worst predictor of success. And the first people that took it when we started our change were our board members. So I invite any of you who have college degrees, anytime you want to come by and take it, you'll fail it. No, I mean, you will. I've given it hundreds of times.
Would be the first time I failed the
Since
test.
the 90s, and only 2 people have ever passed this thing in the history. And I'm talking, I've given it to people who have MDs from Johns Hopkins University. I mean, not people who struggled academically. They can't pass it. It's one of the worst predictors there are in higher education. I literally tell people when I go out and I speak, I say, look, if we were for profit and we were giving this to people and we were selling it, we would probably be indicted. It's criminal what's being done. And you can see it from the results. Warren County College is the only college in New Jersey that doesn't require remediation, but the state of Florida passed a law that they can't, and the state of California just passed one. And every single time it's done, graduation rates go up and student success go up. This has been a failed, what I call failed social experiment. There are many in education. But you know what happens? What happens is people get caught in a thing and they start to believe in it, and then they can't unbelieve it because they've spent their career on it. And to give you an example, it's totally viable what we did. We're accredited by the Middle States Association of the 6 regional accreditors. They came out last year. They had 0 recommendations for improvement for our college. That's kind of unheard of. If you look around, many of the ones surrounding us and touching us, they all have recommendations for improvement. So our board and I, we sat down and we said, well, they have no recommendations for us, but we're going to have recommendations for ourselves for the betterment of the residents. And the textbook program is one of the ones that we put into place for everyone. Again, we're the only school in the northeast part of the United States that even has that arrangement with a publisher. Why other people don't do, I could go on for hours why, I know why, but I won't say because it would be politically incorrect. But I will say that the board here, the community members, we hear you, we know what you want from us, and we hope we provide it to you. We do the best we can.
Is the source of the tuition abatement, is that federal funds or is that state funded?
Oh, that's state funded.
State funded, and so is that something that's gonna be, so the state only budgets from year to year? So so you have to go through this process again with next year's budget cycle?
Yeah, and it's the number one thing on Governor Murphy's budget agenda is to expand it. We are trying to expand it obviously to every community college because it kind of makes, it is kind of odd that if you live in Hunterdon, Somerset, Morris, Sussex, you don't get it, but if you're a Warren County resident, you do. That's kind of an odd thing, to be perfectly honest. But we're happy because I have one goal, that's to take care of the people of Warren County. That's my job. So when it comes to this, so we're happy we got it, and we're grateful. But we're also asking that the income range go up, at least to the median income in New Jersey. So we at least know if you come from a household below the median income, then it's free to you. It's been wildly successful in states that have done it. States like Tennessee, Texas has small parts of it that have it. But those places that have done it statewide and implemented it, it has been very successful for the residents of those states.
Very good.
And concerning the dual enrollment program, last year we had a Phillipsburg high school student that in May graduated with their associate's degree because of the dual enrollment program before they graduated high school.
Wow,
So,
that's awesome. That's a great outcome.
And that was 100% free.
free. Yeah.
It's a terrific outcome for that student and the family. Any other questions? No. Thank you for making the time to come tonight. Okay. We typically don't do an exec session at the beginning of our meeting, but we need to this evening. Do we have a motion to go in exec?
Motion. Second.
It is hereby resolved the board will now go into private session to discuss negotiations. Any discussion held by the board which not remain confidential will be made public as soon as practicable. Minutes of the private session will not be disclosed until the need for confidentiality no longer exists. The board will reconvene in public session at the conclusion of the closed session. We will be taking action. We're hoping 10 minutes. Reconvene. We reached the point in our agenda for our first public participation. Do we have comments or questions from the public this evening?
I guess I was kind of appointed to speak first. I'm a mother and a substitute teacher here. I'm Jill McDonald, and I really felt compelled to come and say something tonight when I heard what was happening. I just look around this room, and so many of you have cared for my kids that are in this district, and thank you. I know all about undervalued professions. My degree is in social work, and I did therapeutic recreation for years, and I just feel that there's such parallels between what I used to do and what these guys do every day, and I give them so much credit for doing what they do, and I think that this is, in the bigger picture, there is more to this than just about the money, and we really need to show these people that we appreciate them more and not take away their security, and this affects their health and their well-being. And I'm definitely opposed to a decision to take away the medical benefits that they've been able to have up until this point. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Haley Biasco. I'm currently a senior at Belvidere High School and also the senior class president. I moved to Belvidere when I was 5 years old and have been in Belvidere School District since I was in kindergarten. My family moved from Cliffside Park, and to make a long story short, the number of students and teachers we have in Belvidere is the same number that one would go in the same grade at Cliffside Park. I have had two older sisters who are past graduates at Belvidere High School, and one is actually studying to be a teacher. I also have a younger brother and sister who currently attend Oxford Street School. Going to such a small school like Belvidere has been a blessing. The environment that our teachers provide make us feel safe and valued as students. I've learned so many things, not just about school, but how to be a good, productive person from the many teachers who have made such a positive impact on my life. These teachers aren't just teachers, they're role models. Parents, lunch money givers, counselors, problem solvers, researchers, givers of hugs, and much more to me and to my schoolmates. And without a doubt, I wouldn't be half the student or person I was if it wasn't for every single teacher at Belvidere. I was at the last board meeting, and after attending that meeting, I was heartbroken when I had to hear all my teachers share such personal stories. Watching so many teachers I look up to be upset and afraid was extremely difficult for me because I respect and care about my teachers so much. The next day in school, despite everything these teachers were going through, they put their emotions aside and put us, their students, first. That's why I'm taking this opportunity to support them tonight. When you ask me what Belvidere is in a few words, the two few words that come to mind are tradition and community. My honest opinion is Belvidere is one of the best examples of what a community is. We're all very fortunate to be a part of an entity that offers a feeling of safety and support for all of us. A huge part of our community is our teachers. I believe the teachers here are the heart of this district. What happens to our teachers not only affects them, it also affects every single student. Speaking on behalf of our entire student body, I can tell you that the teachers we have here are absolutely wonderful, and we're all very lucky to have them. Having two younger siblings, I only hope they get to have the same teachers I had, and the experience that not just me, but every student at Belvidere has been lucky enough to have. I know your decision tonight is going to determine what happens in the future, and I know this choice is not easy, but I hope when making this decision, you realize that your decisions affect not only the teachers, but the students as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing would be complete unless I spoke. Judy Black, President, Belvidere Education Association. The Belvidere Education Association has not had a contract since July 1st. We are still teaching your students, cleaning your schools, and keeping the special services and front offices running smoothly. We are honoring our end of the contract. You want to change our medical insurance carrier. We know that AmeriHealth is not equal to Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield. You have heard our members, you have read our letters. You have had the opportunity to do your own research. If you think AmeriHealth is equal to or better than the school employee health benefits plan, then change it. We know it is not equal. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else this evening? Correspondence.
We have a couple letters. First, from the Belvidere United Methodist Church. Dear Belvidere Board of Education, please accept this letter expressing our sincere gratitude for your generous donation of used student desk chairs from the 3rd Street Elementary School. Our Sunday school children will now be better equipped to focus and learn in age-appropriate seat setting. We would like to thank Principal Brian Stables for bringing our request to the board's attention, and to Kevin Bean, 3rd Street School's custodian, for delivering the chairs to the church in his own truck. It is always a good thing when the community can reach out and support one another. Thank you gratefully, Reverend Evan Roars Dodge and Miss Debbie Pirelli. So,
That's nice.
nice letter. I'm not going to read this entire letter that we got today, just to share with the board, and then this will go into my report as well, because I think I am next on the agenda, correct?
Yes.
We did receive a letter just this afternoon from the state of New Jersey approving Ms. Lightcap's retirement. So with that, I'm going to ask the board to amend the motion to appoint Jordan Trefler, and if we can amend that motion as of 1/2/19 to make him a permanent position, permanent teaching position of social studies in the high school. We appreciate what Ms. Lightcap offered to the district for the years of her service. Glad that she's able to get that retirement, and we look forward to continuing working with Jordan. He's done an excellent job so far. So if we can make that amendment when the motion comes up.
So that's item 18 under personnel.
Just a couple other things I have. First thing is our preschool update. I think I mentioned at the last meeting, we do have 15 students in the class right now. We are on our way to opening up on the 2nd of January. We are very excited about that. In fact, Mr. Carabinus was having a meeting tonight with the parents. Hopefully it was going really well. I don't know if he came back yet or he's still down there. The room has gotten some tender love and care with some paint and some cleaning up, and it looks really good. We also got word from the state that we will be allowed to extend to 2 classrooms next year if we have the numbers, and guaranteeing funds in excess of $360,000. So we're very excited about that. We're very excited about the program kicking off on the 2nd, so good luck to everybody. Update, of course, on our winter concerts as we hit close to the holiday season here. Last week, Mr. AP had his chorus concert. Again, another success, as his concerts always are. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock in the high school, we have the instrumental concert. Mr. Zia, of course, always does a great job. And then next Wednesday, beginning at 5:30, we have the 3rd Street concert in the auditorium, and at 7 o'clock, the Oxford Street concert. So hopefully you can make some of those concerts, and they're always a great time. We met last week, instructional council. I'd sent everybody an email if you had any issues. It's the second time we met. I felt it was, again, I'll use my opinion, it was quite a productive meeting. Excellent dialogue back and forth between the teachers and the board members and the administrators that were there. I think it's actually going to probably become one of the highlights of the month if we do meet on a monthly basis. We had a really, really good conversation. So I appreciate everybody's effort, and I appreciate everybody switching their calendar from my personal calendar. So thanks to everybody again. And just a reminder, reorganization meeting is on the Thursday right after New Year's, which is the 4th. So if you mark that on your calendar, right, the 4th, or is it the 3rd?
I think it's the 3rd, right?
3rd. I'm sorry, 3rd. So the usual reorganization meeting. Our winter sports kick off this week, so we have some good things going on between basketball, wrestling. Our swimming probably already started. They usually start a little bit earlier. We are proud to announce that we have one student, a wrestler, Quinn Malovchik, who has been accepted to the Air Force Academy to wrestle there. Very excited whenever we get a Division I athlete, so congratulations to Quinn. Congratulations to his teachers and his coaches. That's no small feat. And lastly, I just want to wish everybody a happy holiday and enjoy the time off that's coming. That's all I have tonight. I know people don't want to hear me speak too much tonight.
If I could just add one item on, just to piggyback on Chris's report, and that is, we do have an open seat from the election. There was a write-in candidate. That person declined the position. So I think we've advertised.
No, we're going to start advertising.
We're going to start to advertise the position, the seat, pardon me.
Website and the sign.
Website and sign.
Website and sign,
Maybe social
and
media.
also word of mouth.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Shelley, what?
Applications due by January 2nd.
Okay, so word of mouth to spread the word. If there is anybody who's interested in serving on the board, they should respond back in writing by January 2nd. Back to you, Shelley, correct? Thank you.
On the preschool enrollees, is that capped at 15 students?
It's capped at 15 students for this year. Next year, we can jump to 30.
Is that based on state monies?
That's based on, well, actually, it's based on what we got for enrollment. We had to guarantee enrollment by a certain date, which was last week, and we had 15.
Did we reject anybody?
We did not. We have some parents that are already interested for next year, so we've started somewhat of a running tally, but we did not have to reject anybody.
Any other questions on Chris's report?
I
Bob?
just asked, because I understand that there were some issues with the money that was raised by the boys soccer booster club and disbursements of those funds. Would you look into that for us and report back at our next meeting?
I will do that.
Anything else for Chris on his report? Can we get a motion on items 1 through 16?
Motion. Second.
Discussion? Brian, do you want, anything you want to add from the policy committee?
Yeah, the policy committee reviewed the items that are on first reading. Items 9 through
16.
16. There were some typos in a couple of them, but 9322 gives the board the option of adopting a policy addressing emails between board members. Now, you'd have to toggle back between the two agendas. Lorette highlighted the optional provision, so it's in there. It encourages communication, but also admonishes board members that if they do so, it could be a violation of the Open Public Meetings Act. So that's basically a summary of the policy. It just reinforces what the law is about email communications. 9324, for agenda preparation, the policy prohibits adoption or revision of a policy unless a policy is on the agenda. In other words, you can't bring up a policy if it's not on the agenda and ask that it be changed or taken out of a policy book. So it's got to be, you'd be out of order raising it.
I think what we've done in the past is just ask that the policy be reviewed by
Right, that
your
the committee look into it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, in voting, it says that, and this is probably pretty obvious, no proxy voting. You can't, if you're absent, you can't send another member to vote on his behalf as well as yours. And that if you don't vote, according to this policy, silence is considered an abstention that Shelley would have to enter into the, I don't know how that's ever going to be enforced, because I don't think she's looking around seeing who's sitting mute, but the policy says it's considered an abstention. And finally, minutes of public sessions are supposed to be made available to the public in 2 weeks after a request under the Open Public Records Act. And I don't have the policy in front of me, but now that we have video, the video is also now a public record, and it can be made available to the public under conditions that are described in the policy. And that's it.
Thank you, Brian. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Any non-voters? Personnel. This was
Sean, you could add any silent voters, but then they would remain silent.
They would-
So
how would we
it's
know?
sort of redundant, yeah.
we could lip sync it. Personnel. This was revised, so it's 17 through 20B. Can we get a motion and a second?
Motion.
Okay. So 18 is being revised
Correct.
to appoint at step 1, effective January 2nd of 19.
Thanks, Shelley. Discussion? Any questions? Roll call.
Mr. Bum?
Yes.
Mrs. Bikina?
Yes.
Dr. Zeppel?
Yes.
Mr. LeVar?
Yes.
Mr. Lucas?
Yes.
Mr. Matlock?
Yes.
Mr. McInerney?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Steffen?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams? Yes.
Good shot. Under education, can we get motions on items 21 through 24?
Motion. Second.
Brian, Mary Ann, discussion?
I have one.
Mary Ann?
4 teacher, going to the increase your success as a special ed R&R teacher. At one point, we used to send 1 or 2 and have them come back and do a professional development. Apparently, we've completely gotten away from that because it seems to be getting worse and worse as to how many teachers are going for the same thing.
So you and I have argued about this for years.
And we will continue to.
We will continue to argue about it. I think it's extremely important that they go together as a team and share the ideas. I know you like the turn keen on all of them, but and having gone to conferences with administrators, I think it's just a better product when they come back because they learn the same things, they bounce ideas off each other. Personally, I support all the teachers going together. So
And we all know I feel the opposite.
we all know you feel the opposite, but
Other questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions?
I said aye.
Got it, very good. Thank you. Business, items 25 through 30. We have a motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion.
On item number 27, transfer of funds, increase equipment operation fund 80,000. What is that for?
So that is, I'm thinking through it, that's the new preschool aid. We're allocating out the 188,100 that we received in state aid for the preschool program, and 80,000 of that is, at this point, just being appropriated to the equipment. That's for the new playground and the excavation and site management.
Also in there has health benefits, 32,400.
Same, that would be benefits attributed to any employees that are working on the preschool.
So it's just an allocation?
Yes.
Okay.
And the other one, I had a question on salaries, it says dash attendance. What is that?
That would be preschool secretarial work.
Good, good, Doc?
Yes, okay.
Item 26, number 6 on the bottom there. Establishes supplemental fund parameters to be determined by,
The new,
here's as if we need a date in there.
the new agenda that went out yesterday and that you received yesterday
Oh.
afternoon has the parameters
Oh, okay.
included.
You're welcome.
It's number 5 under there, Mr. Brown?
Okay.
You good, Bob? Other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I oppose 26.
I oppose 26 also.
26.
Let's do a roll call on 26, just make sure we're, roll call on 26, please.
Mr. Blum?
Yes.
Mrs. Bikino?
No.
Dr. Zucca?
Yes.
Mr. LeVar?
No.
Mr. Lucas?
No.
Mr. Matlow?
Yes.
Mr. McInerney?
No.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Steffen?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams? No.
Six five? It passed. 6-5, it passed. Okay. Where are we?
Continuing business.
Continuing business. Do we have any continuing business?
We have not really focused on continuing business. We've been focused on other issues for the last couple of weeks.
There's been a lot of things that have been going on. Quite a bit going on within the district. Maybe in the January meeting, if we can get back on
We
foundation.
will do that, yep.
Okay.
Did you just talk about the acoustics here?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say-
Yeah, I just asked if we could bring up foundation.
Foundation?
I apologize. So for the January meeting. New business. Do we have any new business?
None of that either.
I have I don't, did you receive this? This is an assessment from Homeland Security. This came in my mail yesterday. So enhancing, it's a bulletin from Homeland Security on enhancing school safety and threat assessment. So I made 2 copies. Chris, I'm gonna give one to you and you could share one with,
Yeah, we'll do that.
with Chief
With them, so-
Riley. Yeah, thank you. Any other new business?
Sean, what was that about again?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's, I received through my, at work, a copy of a document that's called Enhancing School Security, and it's a threat assessment protocol. So, obviously, security is something that's always paramount for us in terms of, we've spent a lot of time during this past year on security issues. So I made 2 copies and asked Chris if he could share a copy with Dennis Riley as
So
well.
Homeland is sending it to, I mean, public schools are not getting that? Homeland?
Chris has,
did you
I haven't
get-
seen it yet.
Chris hasn't seen it, but it
I
just
haven't seen
came in my mail yesterday. You may get it,
Yeah,
Chris.
may get it shortly.
Yeah,
Or maybe Dennis got it. I don't know. I'll take a look at it.
sure. Thank you. Public, any other new business? Public participation, we reached our second public participation. Comments or questions from the public? We have an executive session to discuss a grievance.
Yes.
Do we have a motion for executive? Second. It is hereby resolved that we will now go into a private session to discuss the grievance. Any discussion held by the board which does not remain confidential will be made public as soon as practicable. Minutes of the private session will not be disclosed until the need for confidentiality no longer exists. The board will reconvene in public session at the conclusion of the closed session. Are we taking any action?
No, just a grievance hearing.
We will not be taking action.